The law of attraction. How to attract good instead of bad. Here's the problem. Most people think about what they don't want and they wonder why it keeps happening to them. John Ashara says the only reason people don't have what they want is because they think more about what they don't want than what they do want. Listen to your thoughts and listen to the words you articulate. The law of absolute the law is absolute, leaving no room for any error. An epidemic worse than all the calamities that have befallen mankind from time to time has been raging for centuries. It's the epidemic of I don't want to. People keep the epidemic alive when they think, speak, and behave negatively, focusing on what they don't want. But this is a generation that will change history because we receive the knowledge, the will that will free us from the epidemic. The beginning will be with you. You will be the pioneers of this movement of the new thinking by thinking and speaking about what you want, and that's simple. The law of attraction does not care whether you perceive something as good or bad, whether you want it or not. All it does is respond to your thoughts. So if you see a mountain of debt in front of you and feel terrible, this is a signal that you are sending to the universe. I feel really bad about my debt. By saying this, you are simply confirming this to yourself. You feel it at every level of your being, and this you will still see and receive augmented and enhanced, says Bob Doyle. The law of attraction is a natural law. It's impersonal and does not distinguish between good and bad things. It takes your thoughts and it reflects them back to you as life experience, your own life. Quite simply, the law of attraction returns to you what you think and whatever it is. In fact, the law of attraction is obedient. When you think about what you want and focus on it with all your might, the law of attraction will give you exactly what you want every time. And when you focus on what you don't want, I don't want to be late, I don't want to be late, the law of attraction does not hear that you don't want it. It does what you think, and it will continue to do so. The law of attraction is not biased in favor of want or do not want. When you focus on something, no matter what it is, you're essentially asking it to materialize, says Lisa Nichols, author and personal empowerment advocate. And when you focus on your thoughts on something you want and hold on to it, in that moment you call forth the desire using the most powerful force in the universe. The law of attraction does not work by factoring into the equation not, no, and not or any other negative words. As you utter negative words, and here's what the law of attraction receives. I don't want to stain my clothes. I want to stain my garment and keep staining it. I don't want a failed haircut. I want failed haircuts. I don't want to be late. I want to delay. I don't want this man to treat me rudely. I want to be treated rudely, and I want others to treat me that way. I don't want the restaurant reservation manager to give away our table. I want the restaurant reservation people to give our table away. I don't want to get hit by those shoes. I want my shoes to beat me. I can't handle that much work. I want more work than I can handle. I don't want to catch the flu. I don't want to catch the flu. I want to catch the flu and other germs. I don't want arguments. I want more arguments. Don't talk to me like that. I want you to talk to me like that. And in this way, I want others to talk to me like that as well. The law of attraction gives you what it thinks, period. The law of attraction is always ready to be applied, whether you believe in its existence and understand it or not, says Bob Proctor. The law of attraction is the law of creation. Quantum physics tells us that the entire universe came from thought. You create your life with your thoughts and the law of attraction, and everyone else is exactly the same. The law does not apply only when you are aware of its operation. It has always been in effect in your life and in the life of every human being since the dawn of time. When you become aware of this great law, you will become aware of how amazingly powerful you are. So powerful that you can create your life with your thoughts. It's implemented as you think, and when your thoughts are racing, the law of attraction applies. When you think about the past, the law of attraction comes into play. When you think about the present or the future, the law of attraction comes into play. It's an ongoing process. You can't pause it or stop it. It is in constant motion, just like your thoughts, says Lisa Nichols. Either we realize it or we don't. And most of the time we think. When you talk or listen to someone, you think. And when you read a newspaper or watch television, you think. When you get ready in the morning, you think. For many of us, the only time we don't think is at bedtime. Yet the attractive forces still operate based on the last thoughts we had before we fell asleep. Make sure your last thoughts before bed are good ones. Creation is a never-ending process. Every time a person thinks a thought or uses a particular time-prolonged way of thinking, he is in the process of creation. From these thoughts, something will materialize, says Michael Beckworth. What you think right now creates your future life. You create your life with your thoughts. And because you're constantly thinking, you are constantly creating. What you think about more than anything else, what you focus your thoughts on, will shape your life. And as with all natural laws, the law of attraction also has the element of perfection. You create your life, your thoughts are seeds, and the harvest you will reap will depend on the quality of those seeds. If you grumble, the law of attraction will powerfully bring more reasons to grumble into your life. If you hear someone else complaining and you focus on that, expressing your sympathy, agreeing with them, at that very moment you are attracting more reason to complain. The law simply reflects and gives back to you exactly what you have focused on, your thoughts on, and with this powerful knowledge you can fundamentally change the circumstances and facts of your life, whatever they are, by changing the way you think. Bill Harris, teacher and founder of Centerpoint Research Institute, says, I once had a student named Robert. Robert was taking an online course, which meant that some of our communication was via email. Robert was gay. In his emails, he described to me the grim reality of his life, and at work his colleagues criticized him. It gave me great and constant distress to learn how badly people treated him. Many times when he was walking down the street, he was approached by various people with the intention of verbally assaulting him. Robert wanted to become a stage comedian in the stand-up comedy genre, but when he finally managed to get a job in such a show, he was faced with a problem again, according to the common saying. The spectators booed him, his life was steeped in misery, and entirely focused on the social outcry associated with him. And I started teaching him to focus on what he did not want. I referred him to the emails he had sent me, saying, read them again, look at what you described to me, all the things you don't want to happen to you. You are very passionate about the subject, and precisely because you focus so passionately on it, you provoke it and you make it happen even faster and even more. Robert took what I told him seriously, began to really try to change, and what happened over the next 6 to 8 weeks really was a miracle. Those of his colleagues in the office who were harassing him were either transferred to another department, reassigned from the company, or quit, or simply stopped working with him. And he began to love his work. No one bothered him on the street. These people didn't walk past him anymore. And in his appearance as a comedian, he began to win the applause of audiences, and no one would boo him anymore. His whole life had changed because he himself had stopped focusing on what he did not want and what he feared, on what he struggled to avoid, focusing his thoughts on what really mattered to him. And Robert's life changed because he changed his thoughts. It started broadcasting on a different frequency to the universe. The universe is obliged to emit the images of the new frequency, however difficult or unrealistic the new situation may seem. So hold on to your life in your hands. Whatever you are right now, wherever you are, whatever has happened to you, you can begin to consciously choose your thoughts and change your life. There are no hopeless situations, and the circumstances of your life as a whole can change. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.